My name is Ian Riling, and today I'll be giving a presentation on the DEXA scan. All right, so what is a DEXA scan? So DEXA scan, which is also known as the bone density scan, is a medical imaging test that measures bone density. Right. So what is bone density specifically? So bone density is the amount of bone minerals in your bones, right? So the more bone minerals you have, the higher bone density you are gonna have, and the less minerals in the bone, less or the lower your bone density is going to be. So, why exactly are we measuring bone density? Well, bone density is a good indicator of your risk of breaking bones, right? The more dense your bones are, the harder it's going to be to break your bones, right? It's very, less bone mass, less bone density, less that's going on in the bone, it's easier that before it's going to break. Right? So how exactly do we maintain high bone density in that case that we don't break our bones? It's mainly going to be calcium and vitamin D, right? Since we're kids, we're told, drink your milk, it'll help you have strong bones. And that is true, drinking your milk, eating cheese, yogurt, your dairies are going to be very helpful for maintaining high bone density, right? And then secondly, it's going to be vitamin D, right? So sunlight is very good for vitamin D. The more sun you get, the better, stronger your bones will be. All right. So next, the DEX machine. So DEX machine is where the scan takes place, right? There's going to be two main parts we'll see in the next slide. What exactly the machine looks like. But you're going to have your centerpiece, which is where the person lays down on, and you're going to have the arm, which goes over the body and does the scanning. Right? And since we're dealing with radiation, the recommended time frame is once every 2 years, just to make sure and minimize any effects of radiation. 24 hours before the scanning, no calcium supplements, just to not interfere with the scan and make sure we get an accurate result. And while you're in the scan, there's no metal clothing, radiation. And same with no pregnancy. We really don't want to harm the child, um, the the womb. So no pregnancy, no metal clothing while going through the scan. And it is more accurate than x-rays actually. So we'll see in the next slide, or might as well go. So what does the DEXA scan stand for? It's dual energy x-ray absorptiometry. So DEXA scans do use x-rays. It's pretty much a upgraded version, right? So it's more accurate since we're using more, or we use two x-rays, but it's checked daily to make sure it accurately measures bone density. So that's why it's more accurate than x-rays. However, it is outpatient, I believe. So, at the emergency room, it's harder to, do it. So, I had the machine right there. So, but it is more accurate, right? So, dual X-ray absorptiometry. Let's break that down, right? So, X-ray, well, dual energy just means there's gonna be two rays of X-rays. An X-ray, of course, is a wave of energy that passes through materials, which gives us the ability to create pictures of the human body. So that's how we get, the images of broken arms and, um, you know, whatnot. And then absorptiometry is pretty much when we expose a sample, which more often than not is living tissue to electromagnetic radiation. Um, in this case, it'll be the X-rays, and we'll measure the amount of radiation that's absorbed, telling us how much of that sample we have. So here we see the DEX X-ray table with the arm right there, and then the table itself. In person, you're gonna be lying flat. The arm's gonna be going on top of you. It's gonna be sending out those two X-rays, which is very low levels. It's not harmful at all. Um, so the two rays are different from each other actually. One is going to be one peak of energy, which is absorbed by only the soft tissue. It's going to measure how much um, fat and muscle you have. And the second is absorbed by bone, so it's only going to measure bone. Um, so what they do is to find the bone, they measure the total. They just subtract the soft tissue and you get the bone density. Um, Say you're gonna lie on your back, or the two X-rays. Um, you lie on your back, it scans you, and then the scanner translates the bone density measurement, and it can create pictures and graphs such as this one right here, where the white and blue is the bone. The white is where the bone is denser. You see the red, that's going to be our muscle, and the yellow is going to be our fat. So it's pretty neat, pretty neat. So why is it used? So it's mainly used to measure bone and body composition. So bone, muscle, fat. It's mainly used to like after checkups for those risk factors, seeing if we're at a higher risk for bone breaks still. For people older, it's gonna be checking if how their bones are developing, if they're losing bone mass, if their bones are becoming less dense, right? Um, so right here we have osteoporosis, which is the number one thing that is used for. So it's easy and it's inexpensive, right? It only takes about 25 minutes, 25, 30 minutes top to run this test. So it's quick and easy, and it'll tell you right away if the patient is at risk of osteoporosis or has osteoporosis, because it'll be less dense, of course. And of course, less dense bones mean you're at higher risk of breaking your bones, and they'll give you medication. And then the DEXA scan is used to make sure if it's actually working, right? And then another use for body composition, it just tells you how much and where the body fat and muscle is located. So I know my bodybuilders often use it to get a measure of their body fat percentage for like shows and whatnot. But that is the DEXA scan, and I hope that y'all learned and had a great time. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great, great day.